Well, we're not friends. We're colleagues and we'll work.
Now, I know you guys didn't think I was going to do F1 controversies and not mention Hamilton v. Rosberg. Who do you think I am? So, for my 10th controversy, I thought it would be very fitting to get into some Mercedes drama, and today we'll be taking a look at Monaco 2014. But first, let's throw it back to Malaysia 2013, when we saw a glimpse of what was to come with the Mercedes duo, when Nico was told to hold position behind Lewis, who then went on to take the final spot on the podium. While this was civil compared to their other battles, we should have known things would not have stayed amicable for too long. In 2014, Mercedes produced a car ready for championships, and that is when we really got to see the fracture in their relationship. It was Bahrain when we saw the first intense battle between the two, and Mercedes left it up to their drivers to fight for the lead without team intervention. This was a fair fight as Nico did have the fresher tires. However, in the final laps, Nico did also use an engine mode that was banned by Mercedes to gain an advantage on Lewis, but don't hold your breath because come Spain, Lewis used that same banned engine mode to gain an advantage over Nico. Tensions were quickly rising between the two, and it was Monaco qualifying that really intensified things. In Q1, Nico topped the session ahead of Lewis. In Q2, Lewis topped the session ahead of Nico, and it was Q3 where trouble came knocking. Nico had provisional pole with setting a lap time of 1 minute 15, but it was during his second flying lap with a minute remaining in the session when Rosberg, who went out first, was setting his time when his tires locked up and he ran deep at Maribor going into an escape road before rejoining the track. In Nico locking up, he brought out the yellow flag, which, fair, but it just so happened to be that this yellow flag was brought out right as Hamilton, who was going faster than Nico, was completing his flying lap, and therefore resulting in him having to abort his lap, taking him out of pole contention. So why was this so controversial? Well, there was lots of suspicion that Nico deliberately caused the yellow flag to spoil Hamilton's lap so he could get pole, and the stewards believed this to be the case as well, and Nico was investigated for the incident, but it was later deemed that there would be no further action by the FIA, so he kept his position. Nico then went on to say that he just locked up and he thought he was going to hit the wall, and that he was sorry for Lewis. He didn't know exactly where he was, but once he was reversing, he saw him coming up, which is not great, but that's the way it is. While Nico himself said it was an incident, Hamilton thought that he did it on purpose. I mean, he said, "I should have known this was going to happen," and he also said it was ironic, the yellow flag giving Nico pole. Pundits were also debating on if Nico deliberately brought out the yellow flag or not, so clearly there were more suspicions than not. Controversy is not the most controversial thing to happen in Formula One. It definitely did cement the rift between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton, and I mean, after the Sunday race when Nico finished ahead of Lewis to win, Lewis then went on to say that he and Nico were no longer friends, and even though this was later retracted, we all know that friendship was definitely over. And so that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Mercedes and one of their more controversial moments.